United Islamic Cultural Centre of Australia. In the 1970s, much like many others, 4 to 5 youngsters left their home countries to gain the risk or sustenance of their families and settled to Melbourne. These young individuals were eager to maintain their beliefs and cultures that they brought from their home countries. They were not imams. However, in this new, humongous country, they did not want to lose themselves or the generations to come. They were aware that if they weren't successful in educating their kids, academically as well as religiously, this would be their biggest loss. With this cause in mind, they rolled up their sleeves and took action. Resembling the companions of the Prophet which were sent overseas, these brothers hired community centres and even churches. In their free time, these companions began teaching Muslim kids Islamic behaviour and basic fiqh, with what knowledge they had acquired up to that point in their lives. This selfless act of teaching the youth helped build the foundations of United Islamic Cultural Centre of Australia. As the student population began to increase, elders eventually also started to hold classes in temporary spaces. From the day they came to Australia, these labouring brothers provided services with the same dedication as imams. As a result of their successful and dedicated work, the Islamic Cultural Centre was officially established in 1980. While these young labouring imams toiled for the welfare of Islamic society, they never lost touch with their motherlands. Turkish imams visited Australia and gave spiritual feasts to Muslim societies. These societies drank this newfound knowledge like thirsty plants in the arid Australian desert, waiting to be watered. In 1983, an imam was sent from Turkey. The imam worked hard together with the brothers who laid those all-important first foundations, providing services in accordance with the principles of United Islamic Cultural Centre of Australia. As a result of their dedicated enterprise, lectures, Quran recitations and Islamic classes steadily increased. While a new generation was being properly educated, the problems of the expanding community were starting to show. Future generations, who are the lifeblood of Islamic culture, will be lost if societies are unable to raise and properly educate them. Based on this fact, the United Islamic Cultural Centre of Australia, together with its imam and its few members, set a goal to raise imams and muallimas, lady preachers, from the upcoming generation within the burgeoning Islamic society. With the intention of returning and spreading Islam to the community, 2 of the sisters were voluntarily sent to Turkey for a designated period of time to learn the skills to become muallimas. Services which began in community centres were continued by leasing a property in 1989. However, due to the disadvantages of providing services in a home environment, vacant land in the heart of the Muslim community located in Campbellfield was bought in 1991 with the intention of constructing masjid and madrasa. During the calendar year of Ramadan in 1995, the Islamic scholars that came to visit and lecture in this holy month provided a well-needed spiritual boost. Throughout 1995, the United Islamic Cultural Centre systematically established itself as a recognised and official body. Along with being systematised, experienced imams were sent more regularly. Raised within a culture that provides the spiritual understanding to travel great distances for the sake of even a single student, they prepared themselves for the hard work ahead. A girls' madrasa with a capacity to house 20 students had been built on the purchased land. Towards the end of 1996, a 2-storey boys' madrasa was built in Dandenong Noble Park, with a capacity to house 20 students. The services of the United Islamic Cultural Centre expanded to Auburn in Sydney, later in 1997, with the same intended purposes. With the growing amount of expanding services, the more limited buildings lacked the necessary capacity to meet the overwhelming demand. In 1999, new lands were purchased in Meadow Heights, Victoria, and Sydney. With the support of our community in 2006, an astonishing madrasa was constructed on a 4,000 square metre block. This building was able to accommodate up to 70 boarding students at a time. With the services progressing, a group of 14 students were prepared to be sent overseas to get their Islamic education. After the completion of their education, the 14 students, now learned imams, returned to Australia in 2008. This allowed the United Islamic Cultural Centre to reach out to a wider community. Eventually, locations were established in Brisbane and later Perth, starting out in rental properties. Over 30 imams and 20 muallimahs born and raised in Australia received their qualifications in Turkey, returning with the singular purpose to spread Islam, regardless of their own well-being or personal success. We currently operate 6 boarding madrasas in Australia. 2 boys and 1 girls madrasa in Melbourne, and 1 madrasa each in Sydney, Brisbane and Perth. At these madrasas, we have a combined total of 160 boarded students. On top of our boarding services, we also have daily and holiday programs providing services to hundreds of students. Our number one priority is to ensure worldly as well as spiritual harmony and cleanliness in our madrasas. The first things that come to mind with regard to our madrasas is a masjid, classrooms, library, dormitories and social activity rooms. We strive to encourage our students to achieve the highest level of academic as well as religious knowledge, and they're encouraged to vigorously infuse these teachings with their daily lives. To achieve this in our centres, we provide lessons such as math, science, physics and English into our school's curriculum. Also, we have project and knowledge-based contests, technical and cultural excursions, recreational activities, camps and arranged trips to Turkey, Europe and various nearby countries. United Islamic Cultural Centre of Australia's fundamental culture has always been to give instead of take. The symbolic monthly fees are a small contribution to help with the continuation of the quality services we provide. Along with this, we also have the involvement of the sisters, family fun days, fates and similar programs as supplemental events. Our biggest financial resource is the community that has expressed their confidence in the services we provide. We, as United Islamic Cultural Centre, believe that we provide these services in conjunction with the greater community. We're grateful to the benevolent people who have sent donations to many countries in our region, especially in Qurbani time. Economically disadvantaged countries such as Indonesia, Philippines, Bangladesh, Vietnam and Cambodia, where Muslim families can only eat meat once a year, all benefit from the assistance you provide. Exactly 40 years after the first foundations were laid from humble beginnings, started by a couple of individuals, we now proudly serve thousands of Muslims and strive to increase those numbers into the hundreds of thousands. The first brothers are humbled at how quickly the time has passed, finding themselves living in castles where they initially struggled to find and pay for rental properties. They are still as passionate and driven today as they were in the beginning. As the United Islamic Cultural Centre of Australia, we plan to add to and increase our kindergarten, girls' educational centres and school projects in the upcoming months. In the 4,000 square metre block that we purchased next to the boys' madrasa at Meadow Heights, we plan to build facilities that will be beneficial at the highest level to the Muslim community. The United Islamic Cultural Centre of Australia accepts the needs and desires of the Muslim community as a duty upon itself. We thank our community, which is always standing beside us and helping us to construct a brighter future together. United Islamic Culture Centre, of Australia.